Hi, I'm Lauren Stinson, and this is all about General Mills adding, modifying, and implementing new security measures. General Mills is a multi-billion-dollar company with tons of brands and products that we all know, recognize, and love. Pillsbury and Betty Crocker are the two largest besides the Big G cereal products like Cheerios, Lucky Charms, Wheaties, and Chex. Beyond these, they also have countless other food brands like Yoplait yogurt, Nature Valley, Totino's Pizza, and Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Okay, let's move on. I'm getting hungry. General Mills has owned and created it all throughout its years since incorporating back in the 1920s. They've ran radio shows, owned toy companies, restaurants, and even dipped its feet in ocean and space exploration. However, when Pillsbury came up for sale back in 2001, they purchased it and shifted their focus back to 100% food products, a move that has helped catapult them to the top in the food industry. I interviewed a cybersecurity analyst with General Mills, Christina Meyer, who helped walk me through their security division. Back in 2016, their physical and online security departments merged into one division to help create a bigger, stronger force. However, they still have a relatively small cybersecurity department because General Mills is not in a high-risk type of business like healthcare or banking. A neat point I want to also add is that each region of General Mills around the world has a security business manager that gathers their input and ideas and then relays them to the security force back at HQ. The cybersecurity team has three main areas where they put the most time and effort: protecting trade secrets, protecting employee information, and protecting consumer data. Each has their own set of functions and roles. My use case diagram shows which division requires these security measures. Some have needs in multiple areas. For example, the sales team must protect both trade secrets and consumer data. Trade secrets and consumer data goes through the security manager, then on to the security team. Employee information goes through a new app called Workday, which we'll talk about a little later. My UML diagram just goes into a little more detail about exactly what information each division must protect. R&D deals with trade secrets like recipes and formulas. Manufacturing handles the same thing, but also manufacturing processes. Marketing must protect advertising strategy trade secrets, as well as consumer data. Similar to that, the sales team must protect sales methods trade secrets, as well as consumer data. And lastly, human resources is connected to all divisions and must protect employee information through Workday. My misuse case shows where the system might fail and where attackers could break in and steal information, but also what General Mills has in place to stop these attacks. Things like firewalls, user authentication, antivirus software, and education of employees help protect the company from hackers. My data flow diagram shows how data flows from General Mills employees through the cloud and back to them. General Mills uses a VPN to secure its data, as well as the Workday app to help protect personal information. In the three security areas, there are two main sections where they can improve. First, regarding protecting trade secrets, there are little to no policies in place in dealing with the third-party vendors who run the programs on which these secrets are kept. My first recommendation to General Mills is to have their cybersecurity analysts begin work immediately on the project to write out these policies so there are clear requirements for these third-party vendors. This project should be very low cost since it would simply be paying the analyst for the time it takes to write the policies. If the company were to hire 2 to 4 summer interns to complete this task, the cost could be almost zero. General Mills just recently upgraded from using Excel to store important employee information to Workday, a human resource management solution cloud app. The only way they can improve in this area is to put these new policies into place. However, Workday regularly passes rigorous compliance audits of their security and confidentiality, so making this switch was a very good move for General Mills. Lastly, General Mills needs to put some data loss prevention into place regarding their consumer insight data. The company currently holds the position that expensive data loss prevention is an unnecessary use of resources. But as we have seen from many different recent news stories, A large company like General Mills should be dedicated to preventing an attack rather than waiting for it to happen. It would be an expensive upfront cost, but the costs go down every year after its implementation, and the cost of an attack is much, much higher. My first input form and output report is for a third-party vendor application. This would be the first step in verifying companies wanting to outsource their product to General Mills, and it would help the companies know what security standards General Mills requires of them. My second forms are through Workday. This is where an HR employee would input new employee information, and then it would send the employee information to the new employee's manager. However, as you can see, important information like their social security number is starred out so that personal information does not get to the wrong person. My last forms are also through Workday, a pay stub request. This is pretty straightforward, but I wanted to note again how important information like the bank account and direct deposit number is starred out. Implementing and maintaining the new policies regarding third-party vendors will be rather short and simple. First, they must have an unbiased group perform quality assurance on these policies by inspecting and testing the policies. Then, they must conduct user training with all analysts to make sure that each team member knows how to go through the correct process of utilizing these new policies. After being implemented, maintaining these policies will simply be a project team continually updating the policies on a yearly basis and keeping all analysts up to date on the most current version. Implementing and maintaining their new DLP will be a little more demanding project. The cybersecurity team would first need to redesign their own job requirements to make sure enough people are put in charge of setting up the software and installing it on all required computers. There would be many affected units by this, so reorganizing would be a must. Before passing the software on to General Mills employees, a team would need to walk through, inspect, and test the DLP to make sure it passes software quality assurance. Last, the analysts would have to conduct user training to make sure each employee in these divisions understand the importance of using this software. Maintenance on the DLP would require a software project team dedicated to continuously inspecting and testing the software to help deter attacks on the company's information. Thank you very much, and I have truly enjoyed the time I have put into researching General Mills this term.